There are moments in life when you feel the weight before you find the words. Psalm 61 begins in one of those moments. Hear my cry, O God. I call upon you from the ends of the earth with heaviness in my heart. This is not tidy spirituality, this is pressure. The psalmist does not deny the heaviness. He does not reframe it prematurely. He does not quote a promise before he feels the pain. He cries. And that is where many of us struggle. We either suppress emotion in the name of faith, or we indulge emotion without directing it anywhere redemptive, that is. But Psalm 61 shows us a third way. That way is to feel it, to name it, direct it. I call with heaviness in my heart. Notice something important. His feet are on the earth. He says he is calling from the ends of the earth. He's grounded in reality. This is not escapism. This is not detachment. But his cry ascends. Prayer is vertical movement from horizontal pressure. Sometimes you have to let it out before you can let it go. And yet, he does not stay in the cry. He moves. Set me on the rock that's higher than I, higher than I, higher than my mood, higher than my fear, higher than my reputation, higher than my competence. This is the beginning of spiritual stability. If your stability is at your own height, you will be shaken greatly. But if your stability is higher than you, you may not be shaken loose. Now, let me say that again, and I'm going to say it better. If your stability is higher than you, you may be shaken. You may be shaken, but not shaken loose. The psalmist says, you have been my refuge, a strong tower against my enemy. Notice the language. Refuge, tower, house, wings. These are architectural and relational images. He's not just venting, he's dwelling. He's not just reacting, he's resting. This is the quiet confidence of someone who knows he can be overwhelmed, but not overtaken. Now, Psalm 61 includes something else that's critical. The psalmist is praying as a leader. Add length of days to the king's life. Leadership pressure intensifies emotional weight. When you're responsible for others, heaviness multiplies. Decisions ripple outward. Mistakes carry consequences. Enemies multiply. And so, what does the leader do? He does not flex. He does not posture. He prays. He knows from whence his help comes. He's neither intimidated nor proud. That's a delicate line. Intimidation says I'm not enough. Pride says I'm more than enough. Faith says God is enough. And then he resolves. Day by day I will fulfill my vows. Notice the simplicity. Not dramatic gestures, not sweeping declarations. Day by day. Stability is built daily, and it's built in daily obedience. Now we move into Psalm 62, and something shifts. Psalm 61 cried, Psalm 62 waits. For God alone my soul in silence waits. God alone. The field narrows. It is not God plus strategy. It's not God plus influence. It's not God plus visible power. God alone and silence. That is where maturity deepens. Waiting is not passive, waiting is restraint. Waiting is disciplined alignment. Waiting is refusing to move faster than God. In our culture, reaction is rewarded, immediate commentary is expected, outrage cycles spin quickly. Psalm 62 says, "Be still." That's not weakness, that's strength under control. Silence before God requires internal governance. Your impulses want to speak, your fear wants to act, your ego wants to defend. Silence says, "I will not move until I'm anchored. He alone is my rock and my salvation, my stronghold, so that I shall not be greatly shaken." Notice the phrase, "not greatly shaken." The psalmist does not say he will not be shaken at all. He says, "not greatly." Faith does not eliminate tremors, it stabilizes foundations. Now he acknowledges enemies. "How long will you assail me as if you were a leaning fence or a toppling wall?" There are threats, there are lies, there are coordinated efforts to topple. Let's be clear. Spiritual maturity does not require naivete. The psalmist sees deception clearly. They bless with their lips, but in their hearts they curse. Duplicity is real, opposition is real, but here is where the pathology can begin. You can acknowledge threats without elevating them. It's not paranoia to know that danger exists. The pathology comes in giving danger ultimate weight. And so he returns again. "For God alone my soul in silence waits." He is disciplining his focus. You can almost hear him recentering himself because fear wants to dominate mental space. But hope must be chosen. Truly, my hope is in him. Hope is not vague optimism. Hope is settled placement of trust. If I am not shaken greatly, it is not because I am immovable, it is because my foundation is in God. In God is my safety and my honor. Honor, honor. That word matters. In times of attack, we are tempted to defend reputation aggressively. But if honor comes from God, it does not have to be manufactured. Now the psalmist turns outward. Put your trust in him always. O people, pour out your hearts before him. The psalmist's private discipline becomes public instruction. This is how leadership works at its healthiest. You do not teach theory, you model lived trust. This is how I cry, this is how I wait, now you do it. Then comes one of the most leveling statements in the Psalms. Those of high degree are but a fleeting breath. Power flexes, influence intimidates, systems posture, a breath. And he continues, even those of low estate are the scales, they are lighter than a breath on those scales, lighter than a breath. Pride is an equal opportunity condition. It's not just the powerful who grasp for advantage. Humanity across the spectrum is fragile and flawed. And so he warns, put no trust in extortion, though wealth increase, set your hearts not upon it. This is a values correction. When pressured, we are tempted to trust what seems tangible: money, position, force, strategy. But what we set our hearts upon determines our direction. And then the theological anchor. God has spoken once, twice. I've heard it. That power belongs to God. Settled. Not partially, not competitively, not shared in some ultimate sense. Power belongs to God. But that alone could be terrifying, except the psalm ends like this: steadfast love is yours, Lord. Power governed by steadfast love. This is why trust is rational. God's power is not volatile. It is not ego-driven. It is not impulsive. It is governed by covenant love. And then you repay everyone according to his deeds. Judgment is not ours to administer ultimately. God settles accounts without our accounting, which frees us. We do not have to retaliate to secure justice. We can cry, we can wait, we can trust. Psalm 61 teaches us how to bring our heaviness upward. Psalm 62 teaches us how to anchor downward. Together, they teach us, be shaken, but not shaken loose. Feel deeply, but trust more deeply still. Speak honestly, but wait deliberately, and settle once and for all where power belongs. When you do that, silence is not empty, it is full of confidence, and waiting is not weakness, it is worship. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord make his face to shine upon you. May the Lord lift up his countenance upon you and be gracious unto you and give you peace. Amen. 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 Amen.